Hello everyone, it's Sydney here back in my kitchen. This is another collective reading for my woo homies, and I see my green candle is already out, but it's out of frame. Anyway, I was tempted to do this last week, but it would have felt icky. The whole Russia-Ukraine situation was way too fresh and it felt inappropriate. But today is the new moon. It was exact in Pisces roughly 9 hours ago, so it's time for a fresh start. And I haven't done this in a while. The question that I shuffled on is, what can we do from here? That's a broad, open-ended question, and this is a collective reading on top of it, so I hope this is helpful to you. And as is customary, I have 3 oracle cards here. Once I do the 10 card spread that I'm about to do, I will read these cards. I invite you to choose which one resonates with you the most, and you have plenty of time to do so. So let's get started. I am eager to get accustomed to this honeycomb spread that I call it. And let's start with the first 4 cards. Like this. So, okay. So just to explain the first 4 positions, these 2 cards are the question itself. This is actions that we're taking right now, and here is a strength or asset that we have. So right out of the gate, I feel like what I'm getting from these 4 cards, first of all, our strength, the 7 of coins in the strength position, I am reading this as patience. It's like, you know, this guy has been working on his field, growing his crops for a while, and the 7 of coins is designed to be ambivalent, and in this context, what's leaping out to me is the fact that this, you know, this is a farmer. You don't get all the fruit. You don't reap what you sow overnight. And I think that for my woo homies watching this, we understand that whatever it is that we're trying to achieve, which hopefully will be clarified soon, is not something that's overnight, and we understand this. We have the patience to know that, you know, Pentacles number 8, 9, and 10 will come when they come. Now, as far as the question itself, the Queen of Wands and the Page of Swords reversed, I'm getting it. These are kind of conflicting signals, which I guess is apropos. You know, the Page of Swords is kind of, I guess the Page of Swords reversed, I would see as a new path that is either difficult or closed off right now. And yet, despite that, we are looking for ways to assert ourselves with creativity and to just find ways to you know, stay centered. Now, the Devil card in what we're doing right now, honestly, this one is confusing to me. I call the Devil the Temptation card. I'm not even sure it's relevant to point this out in this particular reading, but I just want to point out that the chains on these 2 people are loose. They can walk away from this at any time, and yet they're kind of just there. There are too many ways to interpret this Devil in the position of what we're doing right now. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal the next 3 cards. Okay. All right. So what are... no, I will just adjust this a little because I'm going to go out of frame. This should be better. So, in the position of what our immediate goal is, I'm seeing this as the words end to confusion is what I'm coming up with with this card in this position. Like there are a lot of ways to interpret the Seven of Cups, but that's what's coming out to me right now. And as far as this is opportunities to look out for, the Queen of Cups is an interesting card to have in this position. I'm seeing this as an opportunity to like emotional healing. This is what is coming to me with this card in this position. It's like, you know, with everything that's been going on, you know, just when we thought that the world situation in general couldn't get any crazier, things somehow find a way to get even more crazy. And I think that, you know, given the ridiculous amounts of trauma happening all over the world and that have been happening for the last 2 years, I think that, you know, as far as the people watching this video are concerned, who know that we can't get there from here overnight, to be on the lookout for opportunities to just be there for people. You know, the Queen of Cups is a very caring energy, very caring and nurturing and patient. And I think that there will be many opportunities. If, you know, I would say there already have been and are right now, to, you know, just be there as the calming light for people. Because again, things are fucked right now. And to unfuck all of this is going to take time. And I think with the Knight of Wands in this position, which is our perception of this question, this is another interesting card to have in this position, because it's like, you know, galloping off into the desert to take action, but based on the cards that I'm seeing, the other cards that I'm seeing in this spread, I just realized there are 4 court cards. Most of these are court cards. Okay, so I don't know what that means yet, but I'll figure it out. You know, the Knight of Wands is action, galloping off into the desert, taking your will that you have. Wands are like will, creativity, passion, that kind of fiery energy. And the Knight of Wands is the one who goes out on an adventure, who leaves the kingdom to go slay that dragon. And I think that maybe the dragon that we are trying to slay is to use opportunities to make people, maybe it's the people that we want to free. I'm tempted to interpret the devil this way, but what's making me hesitant to do so is that this position is more like right now. And I think that even though our goal is to end the confusion, and I think that the upcoming weeks, I have no basis I have no grounds to say this besides just a general gut feeling that I have, that we will have opportunities to just point the right things out, and with compassion and patience to try to lift the veil, which has been covering us for a while. Actually, what I'm thinking of predates COVID by years, you know. Anyway, the last 3 cards. I'll explain what made me chuckle just now. So, this is what our ultimate goal is, and we want to win. You know, wins are nice. It's great to have a win, and it's like it's like the our perception of the question to be the knight galloping off into the desert, and I think that we understand that we can't get this win without everyone else getting this win, and there's a lot of confusion in the way, which is what we're focusing on right now. As far as these positions, this is just factors to consider, good and bad, and timing. I have a lot of trouble with this position in general, and I gotta say, I will come back to this. Let me just see here. The Ten of Cups is a card of endings, and the fact that it's reversed in factors to consider. I'm reminded of the allegory of Plato's cave, where I'm just assuming you've heard it. If not, if you Google Plato's cave, you'll get a good sense of what it is. But the notion that after the person who manages to break free from the shackles and actually leave the cave and see what the real world is like, and comes back to the cave to tell everyone, like, hey, we've just been, like, all these shadows on the cave wall are just a tiny fraction of what there is out there. And that revelation is not always met with happiness. You know, they're different. Plato's cave is an allegory that is so old that there are many versions of it, and in at least a couple versions of the allegory, the people in the cave just kill the guy who comes back to like shatter their illusions. So I think that as far as factors to consider, good and bad, is that, you know, these people, they can leave, but they think they can't, and maybe they kind of are in a position where they think that they're happier here, and whatever life has to offer them outside of the, you know, couple feet from this black block here that they have is not as good as what their situation right now is, even though, you know, this devil is literally setting one of these dudes' tails on fire, you know? And the factor to consider is that you really need to be caring and considerate towards people that you want to try to break the illusions for. And this is tricky. It's tricky and it's not obvious, and maybe that's what this Five of Cups means. You know, the Five of Cups is a card of change, which is, you know, on this particular card, it's more the disappointing aspect of it that is highlighted. I will say, you know, just as a formality, that there are two cups still standing behind this guy, and all he has to do is turn around and contemplate that instead of moping over the three cups that are spilt. And the river here is an indication of, like, you know, this too shall pass, it's water under the bridge, that kind of thing. Now, I'm not sure if what I just said is particularly relevant to this particular reading. I kind of just said it as a formality. Let me try to wrap this up. Honestly, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, I use the bottom of the deck as kind of an underlying subtext to the entire reading. And I don't think the Queen of Pentacles reversed at the bottom of the deck has anything particularly like important to say that hasn't been already covered by this, because you know, again, our greatest strength could be our ally, in the sense that if we understand that the changes that we want to make happen cannot happen overnight, and we just remain patient. Holy shit, I just realized the only queen that's missing is the Queen of Swords. We have Wands, Cups, and Pentacles here. That's interesting. It'd be funny if she was right here. Nope, she's not. Okay. So anyway, what was I saying? There are a lot of court cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 10. Okay. To try to bring this reading home, I think that the road ahead of us is long and windy. And, as much as our immediate goal is to lift the veil that is confusing so many people, there is a danger that we get lost in this mist. I felt compelled to point that out. And I understand that, I want the win too. I want this victory too. And I think that by just being compassionate and patient is how we can lift the chains from the people that we want to free without upsetting them too much. Because, I don't know about you watching this specifically, but the kind of world that I want to live in, like my utopia, which probably can't be done in my lifetime, to get there would involve breaking a lot of addictions that many people have spent their entire lives like being subject to and having ingrained in them for their entire lives. And they're like people in their 40s, 50s, 60s. I'm in my 40s, but people like even older than I am, who are even more ingrained in the things that we are trying to bring an end to, that it is, I would advise to be compassionate towards that. You don't necessarily, like, I don't know your specific situation. This is a collective reading. But even if you're not compassionate towards the actual person in front of you, to at least be compassionate towards where they're coming from. And, this Five of Wands this Five of Cups in the timing position, it could indicate many things. It could indicate that this is going to take a lot longer than we'd want it to. I hope that we can make it in time, because if you're, I'm sure many people have that feeling that we're like Indiana Jones, running out of the temple, trying to get out before that stone door falls forever. And yeah, just because it takes longer than we wanted to doesn't mean it's unwinnable. I think that, you have to continue to believe that you can win. And, patience is in the strength position. So that is giving me hope. Another possibility of this in the timing position, I'm just going to throw it out there because the system to map this exists and I am thinking of it, so I might as well share it. The Five of Cups is the first decan of Scorpio. I don't have the dates offhand, but and calculating it would take too long, but the first 10 degrees of Scorpio corresponds with the Five of Cups. So that's like late October, early November, that kind of thing. That's one possible interpretation. And again, since this is a collective reading, I felt this might resonate with one particular person watching this. So I think I got all I will get out of this honeycomb spread. So let's go to the oracle cards. If you picked this card, Your card is duration. This is I Ching hexagram number 32. It's funny. I pulled this card recently for another reading. The keywords are constancy. Wait. The keywords are constancy, continuity, endurance, perseverance, maturity, strengthening, stability, a deep commitment. What this picture symbolizes is the fact that a mountain is there for, first of all, the mountain didn't happen overnight. Coming back to this seven of coins here. But not only did the mountain not happen overnight, but it ain't disappearing overnight, pending several nuclear blasts or something like cataclysmic like that. But, the message to this of this card that I'm getting is that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And as much as you can feel tired, you can feel like giving up, you can feel frustrated that you're not at the finish line yet, to endure and to keep your head in the game, because this is going to be a long game. And even if we get the victory that we seek fast, as quickly as we'd like, we also have to win the peace, because there are some people who, as I said earlier, will be very unhappy to have their illusions broken. So keep your head in the game, and this is a marathon, not a sprint. If you picked this card, your card is the Sun, Source. Wow. The thing that's striking me about the Sun, I'm reading it very similarly to the Queen of Cups in this context. The Sun is a nourishing. It's literally the most important source of nourishment on the planet. Without it, we wouldn't be here. It gives us heat. It gives us plants and food and light and all that great stuff that comes with daytime. But it's so important, and yet it's just there. If you pick this card, this might be a reminder that you can help people a lot more than you may realize by doing a lot less than you realize. So if you pick this card and you've been putting pressure on yourself that you're not doing enough, or maybe that you're kind of just sitting by and don't feel involved enough, you are the sun to someone in your network. Either that, or this is a reminder that you can become that sun, become that source of inspiration, of calm. Because again, shit's going crazy right now. And they're probably going to get more crazy before they get less crazy. So, yeah, I'm reminded of a saying I read in some Buddhist book. The sun never goes, "Hey, look at me, I'm shining." The unspoken implication of that is that it is still just as important. And if it wasn't there, we would know. And probably, our problems would be very short-lived. Let me put it that way. All right. This card, if you pick this card, your card is Domination. This is an interesting card to pick. This is Mars in Sagittarius. Okay. I'm not sure how to interpret this card given the reading that I just gave. It could be a warning to, there's a saying that I'm reminded of: dominate but don't domineer. No, wait. Yeah, dominate but don't domineer. Oh, this might be an invitation to assert yourself more, but with compassion. Yeah, what's making me say that is the saying dominate but don't domineer. I never took the time to look up the word domineer, but the within the context of that saying, the message is, you know, don't be afraid to draw your line in the sand and to make your word law. So just broadening it out a little, I'm gonna give myself a couple seconds to really take this in. It's funny, like I just said to make your word law, and you know, we see. To me, this looks like a Muslim crescent moon, and there's like this scroll here. There's, you know, the cross, the Christian cross, and yet there are these two guys that are wrestling here. This is a really weird card to read, given everything I just said. Maybe if you pick this card, maybe this is an invitation to be less timid. Maybe you've been relying too much on your patience and using it as an excuse to not take enough action and giving yourself the impression that you're galloping out into the desert when you're really not. Yeah, that is the most sensible interpretation that I can get from this. So I would invite you, group that picked this card, to maybe channel a little more of your Mars and to, you know, go out there, to put yourself out there more. Yeah, that is all I have. Listen, I haven't done this in a while, and I just want to help, and I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know in the comments below. I say this every time, but I'm never sure how helpful these videos are. This reading felt good to me. As a reminder, the question I shuffled on was, what can we do from here? So I'm including myself in this reading. And although I didn't really pick a card, hopefully it was as helpful to you as this was to me. All right, so on that, you take care of my woo homies, and I will see you soon.